Hello, this is Werewolf the Podcast, and this is episode 189, and a Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
We would like to thank you for all sticking with us this year, and we picked up 71% of our listeners this year, apparently, which is a very good thing. If you could follow us and do things in the description, that would be wonderful. Apart from that, have a great New Year, and I hope you get all your wishes and stuff like that.
Yeah, let's hope 2025 is a banger.
Bye!
Bye!
Simon and Will. Well, what the fuck was that, Simon? Why do I feel a little sick, a little drunk, a little deaf, and a little awkward?
That, Will, was a side story that the writers spooned into the show so that they could sort of do something for Christmas. They're lucky like that. I bet they used words like parallel and relative to try and pass it off as a plausible step into physics. Well, whatever it was no more than festive horse shit to me. Especially the singing bit.
Oh, were we singing again? Did we do karaoke?
Well, yes, I'm afraid we did. But I have to say it was a quality tune, and worth checking out if you guys haven't listened to it. You listeners out there in listener land.
Would you recommend that the listeners should go back to the last episode and give our little tune and tale a listen? I know I would like to at some point.
I would. Although I would say could instead of should. You know, in this day and age, semantics is everything. Well, or perhaps semantics are everything. Depends on the context, I suppose. In any case, the word should implies an expectation of compliance. We can't expect that, so let's replace that word with could. That doesn't imply an expectation.
It does have a strange begging quality to it, though, doesn't it, Simon?
Why don't you shut up?
Well, that wasn't very professional, was it, Simon? I mean, it's rude, but why the long pause?
Because you're a werewolf, my friend.
Wah, wah, wah.
Another beautiful setup there. I'll set 'em up, and you knock 'em into the crowd. It was an utterly lousy joke, but a worthwhile attempt at a werewolf-related humour thing. You know, to get the listeners howling. Were you even aware, Wolf, that I was going to set you up for that laugh riot? We laughing again?
Yeah, you got me, and I regret my life choices a little.
Okay. Let's get back to drum roll, please.
Roll in the hole! Well, round one is definitely in the books for his archangeliness Gabriel. He and his corner have beaten and battered the Gormont with some very unpleasant tactics. The strategy for them seems to be to cheat their way to the win, and you know what? It's working.
I wonder what the Gormont's corner has told him in the minute we've had as a break.
Oh wait, I have a message from our sponsors.
Oh, do we have sponsors?
Yeah, I don't get it either, but the show is apparently selling out and accepting applications from sponsors who could identify with the show.
Could what?
That could identify with the show.
What kind of company or thing could possibly identify with this show? Photo Rights bloody murder emporium? Oh, I mean, that place was closed in 1864 due to health and safety reasons. It was something I saw to personally, as a matter of fact. Well, okay. But it's a stretch in this modern day and age to find anything that could identify with our brand. Okay. Who is the sponsor then?
I think you've got the card, haven't you? It's somewhere around here. We wouldn't have been so unprofessional as to have forgotten the card, would we? Yeah, I'm looking at you. No, not you, Simon. Him.
Why would I have the card you're using to announce that we have sponsored? See those writer fellows? They just make us look so bloody unprofessional at times. What utter bastards.
Oh well, maybe next week we'll start with sponsors, eh? Satan is standing with her tiny bell, and there she goes. It's round 2.
Gabriel's ready. He's bouncing on his toes. He looks fresh as a daisy and utterly invigorated. I mean, he should be. He's unscathed by the first round. The cheating bastard.
Yes, he was the one dealing out all the damage in that round with some evil ploys and shots from a divine being.
The Gormant, on the other hand, is still slumped on his stool, with a torrent of drool falling from those bloody lips.
Do you think he will even make it out of the corner, Simon?
It's not looking good, Will. I mean, they've tried everything they can to revive him, including wafting the towel. Shouting at him, even.
The unmagic sponge and sulphur and brimstone smelling salts.
The ref's coming over to check on the Gormant. He's pushed his way through the cornermen to get face to face with the monster that he is. Noel Edmund.
And that's taking some pushing. The Gormant's corner men are some serious scum of the pit.
Bozzy's checking the wrestler over. The Gormant is getting the number of fingers he's holding up wrong. But I don't think he can count very high in that form anyway. You know, he's gone into raging bull mode.
You could count how many trouser barnacles he had when he got kicked in the crotch.
Did you say trouser barnacles?
Yeah. The crowd is shouting abuse at Gabriel. He has turned his back to the opposite corner in disgust and is shouting, well, very angelic abuse back at the crowd, to be honest.
He's climbing the ropes. What a skilled showman he is.
He's a quite fabulous orator, isn't he? He's using some words that I've never heard yet. Maybe we should write these down. Maybe they're new swear words, coming from an angel.
The grannies are going a little bit crazy at this. That seat just missed his head, and those seats are nailed down. That's one hell of a granny.
That sloth gut throat ripper's nan there. Lovely lady and makes wonderful plum jam.
She must not have liked the competition Gabriel gave her then, eh? Get it?
No, Simon, I don't.
Competition. Making plum jam. Get it?
No.
Oh, for God's sake. Gabriel crushed the Gormant's plums and left him in a sticky jam.
Oh. Very good, Simon. Very good. Anyway, back to the plum of a fight. He doesn't want to upset the audience, especially little old ladies. He has to get out of here alive, or whatever angels are.
Ooh! What's David Blaine doing? He's sneaking across the ring behind Gabriel and his corner's back, and he's carrying the corner bucket.
Yes, Paul Daniels is firing spells into the braying crowd, so he's totally unaware of David's approach.
Gabriel hasn't noticed the Blaine either.
What was it that was in the Gormant's bucket?
It was burning hot coals, was it not?
It was.
What the bloody hell's he doing?
That is wild. He's slowly pulling back Gabriel's trunks away from his beautiful behind.
Should we even be watching this? Why is he...
Why is Gabriel not noticing this?
Well, there are rumours. And I suppose that David Blaine is one of those amazing street magicians that can do the old pickpocketing and things like that.
That's not pickpocketing, that's... Oh, he's poured the bucket of burning hot coals into the back of Gabe's trunks and is patting them back in place.
Gabriel is somehow continuing to shout at the crowd. How can he not notice that his pants are full of burning coals?
Well, there are the rumours.
Ah, he has noticed them, and he's screaming and asking for the holy water from his corner. A bucket is being passed to him, and he sits his sizzling arse in the sloshing comfort of the pail.
The look of relief is palpable in his eyes. Look at the steam rise and the weird look of pleasures in the angel's eyes. Well, there are the rumours.
The referee has still not noticed what happened. What's he doing?
What's our mate Blaney doing? He's pointing and laughing at Gabriel. Oh, he doesn't really want to do that, does he? I don't think that's a very sensible thing for him to do. Gabriel's a bit of a bastard when he wants to be. There are the rumours.
Dave is twiddling his fingers at the bucket and... boom!
What on earth? The Gabriel has been blown from his seat and through the once vaulted ceiling of this particularly lovely Edwardian brick-built building.
Ah, you noticed that, did you?
What, Gabriel flying through the roof?
No, that it's a lovely brick-built building, of fine rarity in this day and age, and a beautiful piece of architecture for its time. Such grand and pleasant lines and design. They don't make 'em like this anymore, they really don't. More's the pity.
Yeah, it's a particularly fine example of its kind, but I have to say it may take a quote of at least 3 more wishes to get the roof fixed after this event, eh, Simon?
Yes, we can only hope it hasn't caused too much damage.
So what happens now? Is there a rule for a wrestler that's been literally ejected from the ring?
Oh, let me check. Okay, yeah, okay. It says here that they have a count of 10 to get back into the ring before they're DQ'd. And it says here that DQ'd means disqualified.
Oh, that makes sense. I wonder if Gabriel has stopped accelerating after being blasted from the bucket of what? Well, I assume was something like rocket fuel or another explosive substance. That Blaine is a tricky customer.
He did leave quickly, didn't he?
He did, and with his pants on fire.
Well, he has been a liar today. So maybe the great Gabe deserves such an explosive pants episode. Takes me back to the time I ate street food in New Delhi. Gosh, talk about Montezuma's revenge. I had the shits for a month.
The referee is standing in between the corners as they try to cast magic at each other. He's a great one, that Bosworth.
I thought that Bosworth, the referee, had said that he was the only thing able to do magic during the event. Obviously, that was a gentleman's agreement that he must amend now to be a non-gentleman's binding rule. He seems to have wished away the attacks that are going on.
Yep. Both magicians look most impotent.
You said impotent.
I did.
When is the ref going to start his count? This is working in Gabe's favour, although we do have some reports coming in from the local news that a new comet has been seen heading out over the North Sea.
A shooting star?
No, a fiery angel, methinks.
The referee has gone into his pocket and he's withdrawn his cards.
Is he going for a red card? This is worthy of a red card, is it not?
It's an acceptable outcome in my eyes. But who wants this battle to stop now? Good. Against evil things?
Well, not me, Will. But this is no battle of good against evil today. Both sides are playing particularly dirty. They are yellow cards that have been recovered from the grease-stained polo shirt pocket of the referee.
When he builds a character from scratch, he certainly builds a great one.
Bozzy shows the yellow card to each corner. Well deserved, and meaning the fight can continue if Gabriel gets his fiery arse back in time. Yes, that time in Delhi I had one of those. God, it really was most unpleasant, I gotta tell you. I left a sort of gravy trail behind me wherever I went. It was most unpleasant.
That's 1 yellow for the Gorman and 2 for the Angel. We've already mentioned that if a fighter gets 3 yellow cards, they automatically forfeit the fight. This makes it very important that Gabriel behaves himself if, and it's not looking great, if he can make it back to the ring.
Breaking news. The comet has been spotted off Port Erin on the Isle of Man. It has... Yes, it has changed direction and is coming back on the exact line it came in at.
That must mean the Glorious One's on his way back.
The ref blows his whistle and sends the corners from the ring.
He raises his hand and the crowd join in.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right, and and strikes through the rent in the roof, and here is his handsomeness.
Yes, that is Gabriel getting up from a cool superhero landing stance, the posy bastard, to bow to the ref and the crowd. Ooh, he looks right perturbed.
The crowd are going wild with enthusiasm.
He is looking a bit scorched around his nether regions. I mean, black soot seems to be coating his incredibly fireproof Unterpanzer.
He looks quite stoic for a man, for a heavenly host that has just had his ass and bollocks on fire.
He does. But there are rumours.
They both walk out to the centre of the ring and stare at each other thoroughly.
Yes, that's a thorough stare down. Beast and angel are unblinking.
I can feel the energy pass between them. It's not nice energy. I think the dislike of each other has moved to something more akin to hate. I know a strong word to use, but if two entities ever could hate each other, then these are the two.
Are angels even capable of hate?
Looking into those steely blues, I think so, Simon. That is definitely hatred. I really know hatred. I've seen it and felt it 1,000 times. I miss it a bit, actually. Time I got back out there into the real world and made some more enemies. Yeah.
Bozzy, our brave ref, stands between them and pushes them apart, ordering them back to their respective corners. That's a tremendous example of personal bravery from our infallible Jinn.
Neither fighter is falling for any tricks this time. Look, what they're doing. They're both walking backwards, eyes on each other. They're going to walk into the ring posts. Yeah, I don't blame them. At this point, to be honest, they must just... Yeah.
Yes, they are both cheating bastards to the bone. But as Napoleon said to me, si vous ne trichez pas, vous n'essayez pas assez.
Showing off again, Simon?
If I were showing off, I would have said it in Latin or Sanskrit or Aramaic, not simple bloody modern-day French. God.
No, Simon. I mean, showing off because you've met Napoleon and are calling these two nutcases bastards. You can tell who the immortal one is from between the two of us. I think that the two gentlemen are just doing what they need to do to win, and I have to add that I think neither of them are bastards, and that's on the record now, isn't it?
And that would mean you're telling Melton Mowbrays, by which I mean little porky pies. But hey, I only say things as I see them. What can they do? The bastards.
Well, if you remember, Professor, the government is trying to destroy us completely. Make us never exist. Remove us from the universe, body, soul, and everything else. It will be the end. There's no popping back after that, even for you, my not-so-immortal friend. In that case, hell it will be, for all of eternity and all that jazz. And to be honest, mate, you hate modern jazz.
Good point. Yes, that's a very good point, actually. As Guru almost said in that amazing track down the back streets in 1993, or whenever it was, I hate the way the government always perpetrates. He's so phony. He makes me wanna regurgitate. Yes, sorry about that. I'll just leave that there for now, shall I? Yep, probably for the best.
I ring the bell and settle back into my lovely couch, picking up the delicate fan that wasn't actually there to cool myself, but it was more to waft away the stench of those people and others around me. This is not going so great. What is happening? Why is Gabriel even here? I mean, he has no hand in this fight, does he? Why does he care if the Prof, Will, and Fen are destroyed forever? I would have thought that with both their technical backgrounds, he would have welcomed their annihilation so that he didn't have to greet them at the holy gates. I'm getting somewhat bored at this strange display of macho nonsense now. I mean, it's had its thrills at first, but they could just play marbles, rock, paper, scissors, or pick up sticks for the outcome, and I'd be happy. This is boring. Can we not add to the moment? Said my demonic little cat, for she's a Lanois Trudeur, with a sly smile. That feline smile is just so lovely that it forces me to smile and nod back. We need Gabriel to win, I think, I told her. It genuinely was what I thought. But I did not have a reason for that thought. Why in hell would I want that prancing poser of a flaming raging angel to win? But I'm not sure. I continued, a little convusticated, returning my attention to the two battling in the ring. Ah, sod it. Let's have some fun, I told the little cat. This is getting dull, I agree, I smiled. As the two entities struggled in some sort of manly clinch at the centre of the ring, I could see that they were almost perfectly matched. Apart from the cheating. Surprisingly, that favoured the angel. Who would have known? Well, I suppose fate would have. Each corner had now been contained in a quickly magicked force field from the ref, so help was gone from that corner. And that corner... My little joke made me smile again. I looked around for any others that would add their input to this death match and realised that it all really hinged around me. Bricks and heavy iron-framed seats had recently bashed the angel's head. His bits had been bombed, yet he was still standing and smiling. Well, there were the rumours. I was going to have to help the angel win. Me? Why was it so hard being the devil? I mean, I always have to make the difficult choices in this afterlife thing. I thought others were supposed to make the choices that I tempted them with. I was supposed to tempt. They were supposed to choose. And I was supposed to pick up the pieces afterwards. The pieces of souls now damned, obviously. Gabriel had been forced to one of his knees at this point by the bull-headed Gormand. Their hands were intermeshed in that classic game of mercy. The Gormand was bellowing in pent-up rage, and the crowd was shouting his name. As he forced the angel to a second knee, this could not go on. I would have to do something, but what? I can't see anything here, said my demon as she skipped from the sofa and ran through feet, paws, tentacles, claws and other appendages to get to the ring, where she leapt onto the ring apron and sat down. The Gormand was now starting to show signs of great pleasure as he continued to crush the angel into the mat. He raised one massive fist and smashed it into the forehead of the angel with jovial vehemence. It was brutal and beautiful at the same time. The angel's eyes shut. He went limp for a moment. He would have been down if the Gormand would have released him, but he wouldn't. The Gormand actively held the angel from falling as the crowd booed. He held him so that he could strike him again. Boom, another blow. Boom, another. It was pitiful now to watch. I turned away for a moment, then had to turn back as I bit a lip. There was something beautiful in this bestial display. The angel was slowly raising his free arm as he was being beaten. With each strike, it came a little higher, and he started to point a finger. It was amazing to see the damage that the holy being could take. He was being broken. Gabe's finger waved around with each strike taken as he tried to point something out to the Gormand. The Gormand stopped. He was confused for a moment at this act. What was he doing? Was he begging to be let out? All he had to do was say uncle and submit. He raised a hand for another blow, but stopped and followed the angelic digit pointing a path to my little black cat. Confusing. Why was he... Then everything changed. The gormant dropped the angel's body and Gabriel sank with a grateful sigh to his face on the ground. Maybe those rumours were true. The contest seemed over for the gorgeous one. But what was this? The gormant was trying to get as far away from my little black cat as possible. He seemed terrified of the little thing. He was afraid of cats. Oh, perfect. He was scared of little cats. As he backed into the corner, he pointed at the little evil demon of mine and bellowed his concern at the ref, trying to get him to remove the little creature. While all this hullabaloo was going on, Gabriel happily gurgled in a puddle of his own snot on the canvas. The ref looked at what the gormant was pointing at. He was pointing at a little cat. Bozzy was confused at first, but the beast was terrified, so he had to act. Gabriel was starting to come around and move, and I think in the ref's mind, he thought that this should really be over for the safety of the angel. He should be pinned and done. Bozzy wandered over to the little cat and shooed it away. I had never seen Faugiselanois Trudeau shooed before. This was against all of her normal behaviour. She would usually have done something unreasonably reasonable at this form of treatment. What was going on with her then? The little cat came skipping and running back to me, landing from a graceful leap onto the couch, where she instantly started to lick herself in the cat way they have, as if nothing has ever happened. She didn't even complain about what had just taken place. I mean, the shoeing. This was a little anti-miracle in itself. I obviously looked a little confused and incredulous to the cat because she spoke in reassurance. "Why, I was just showing you a handy hint," she said, as she turns towards me, a smile on that little fiend's little lips. "He's frightened of felines," she continued. I still hadn't worked out what she meant, but now I got it. God damn, I got it. "Look what's in your purse. Your greatest creation, and it's time for them to be unleashed once more." I took my Hermes Birkin red alligator handbag and opened it carefully with a blinking caution. The little demon was quite a prankster, so I had to mitigate the risk of it blowing up in my face. There it was, so cute. A little white Persian powder puff with big periwinkle blue eyes. It mewed at me. It was one of them. One of those wonderful things. It was a kitten of doom. A kitten of doom. It was time for the kittens of doom.